Absorption and reflection of sound. At the end of this session, you will be able to describe reflection and absorption as two important properties of sound with day-to-day experiences. You know that just like light, the sound is energy that travels as a wave through a medium like air. A sound wave can travel as long as it has energy, and when the energy finishes, it dies out in the air. But what happens to these sound waves when they hit any surface on their way? Is this what makes us to hear an echo effect? Do they get absorbed on the way? Let's explore. Reflection and absorption of sound. If you throw water forcefully through a thick spongy cloth, only some water would pass through the cloth. Some water drop would be absorbed by the cloth. Some water drops would bounce back to you. The similar thing happens with the sound waves. Just like the water hits the cloth surface, the sound waves hit the surfaces in their way. On hitting a surface, some sound waves pass through the surface or get transmitted. Some of the sound waves are absorbed by the surface itself, and some of the sound waves come back to the source. When a sound wave hits a surface and travels back to the source, it is called as reflection of sound. Reflection and absorption of the sound waves are important properties of sound that we experience in our day-to-day life. The echo effect. Hello, hello. Have you ever tried producing a sound like this? If you shout loudly in front of a tall building or a hill, you can hear back the words you said as if the building or the hill has repeated it. We call this repeated sound as echo. Echo is a sound wave that hits a surface and gets reflected back towards the source. But when a building is surrounded by many trees, houses, hoardings, we do not hear any echo. One reason for this absorption of some of the sound waves by soft surfaces. Even if the sound is reflected by hard surfaces, the occurrence of the echo effect depends upon the time and distance factors. After hearing the first sound, if the second sound wave is reflected back from such a short distance that it reaches our ear before 0.1 second, then our ears cannot recognize it as a separate sound. Hence, the echo effect cannot be experienced. The time lag of 0.1 second, that is 1/10th part of a second, is required between the source wave and the reflected wave to experience an echo. If we send sound from such a distance that sound wave cannot return before 0.1 second, then the echo can be heard. In 1 second, sound travels 340 meters. In 0.1 second, sound can travel 34 meters. So, removing barriers and shouting from at least 34 meters away from the building will make the sound waves to come back after time lag of 0.1 second, producing the echo effect. In an empty room, the sound waves hit the walls and get reflected. This creates echo if sufficient distance and time exists. As there are no barriers in room, the energy of the waves lasts for longer and they do not die out even when the next sound waves are produced. Several such sound waves overlap, making us to hear unusual and unclear sound. But when the room is furnished, soft curtains, porous foam and flat wooden surfaces absorb the sound waves, preventing the reflection and echo effect. The soft surfaces like cloth and foam absorb the sound waves, but the hard surfaces like walls reflect the sound waves. And the sound waves which are reflected travel a very short distance and reach ears before 0.1 second. This saves us from hearing the repetition of each sound produced in the room. However, big halls such as a cinema hall or auditorium have larger walls with sufficient distance, causing repetition of sound. Covering the walls with soft and porous sound absorbing material kills the echo and gives best sound clarity. As human body is a good sound absorber, a house-full hall also helps for sound absorption. Uses of sound reflection. Echo effect and sound reflection has many uses. Animals like bats and dolphins send the sound waves, and the reflected sound waves help them to sense the location and size of their prey, such as insects or fish. The echo effect helps the marine professionals to locate the objects such as the school of fish or a submarine weapon or even precious treasures. The sound waves sent under the sea are reflected back, helping the device to reveal the distance, direction, and the position of the target. This application of sound reflection is called as Sonar Effect. Thus, we learned about the important properties of sound, that is sound reflection and sound absorption.